What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 26 of my Total Warhammer 3 Ikit Claw Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Ikit has pushed north all the way to Kourun, which looks like it's worth quite a lot of sack money. So we're definitely gonna sack the place and get over 60k for our buildings and our retrofits and our general empire growth. In addition to that, it looks like Al-Haik has fallen to Shaif, who, via the judicious application of the Vermintide spell, was able to get away with doing so with pretty much very minimal damage, nearly no damage to his army at all. And gotta love that spell. And oh yeah, there's a mysterious island nearby for him to pick up as well, right after, and then he'll probably go to Martek or Kofur after that. We're also building a new army in the form of Corpable, who's gonna have 3 giants and should be available in 4-ish turns, though we do probably have to make a quick stop at Sartosa to change a few things. Now, there is another thought that I had, and that thought is maybe we want to start leveling Mutant up. And I don't mean leveling him as a lord, because we can use him as a recruiter lord. I have been wanting a construction engineer for at least one lord just to get the extremely expensive things, like when we upgrade Skaven Blight for the Broken Tower and the Council Chamber of the 13th. Council Chamber of the 13 and the Shattered Tower. Okay, close enough, damn it. These things cost quite a bit of cash, though to be fair, not a crazy amount. Yeah, but we can still do that. And we do need a recruiter lord. And I'm thinking a good reason to do this right now is because Nuln has just finished the assassin den, which means we can start building the assassin army in Mutant's army and simply trade it to assassin lord right after that. You know what? I've already convinced myself. Let's send you down here. And let's start on that immediately. Recruitment. You can recruit 6 units at the same time, therefore 4, 6. Out, and Eshin Triads X4 in, and let's say, what else do we need in here? Well, we definitely want some Death Runners. Yeah, let's get some Death Runners. How many Death Runners? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It'll have to be a decent balance between both Death Runners and Gutter Runner Slingers. I actually would like the Poison variety. And regular gutter runners as well, but I'd like the poison variety, but we can't get it, can we? Yeah, so the problem is, well, this army will need some armor piercing, and in that light, we may have to actually give them some death globes. I'm sure the assassins would appreciate some death globes. And the death globes do fairly decent damage. I'm just worried about facing off against a very difficult to kill infantry lines, though the Death Runners could certainly apply themselves there. They're still fairly fragile, so we'll have to be careful. Eshin armies also will want to do a lot of kiting, which means maybe some regular gutter runners of the non-sling variety. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll deal with that later on. First things first is we have not sighted the elves here, so let's attack Kourun and let us... Do we really need to fight this? I think it's gonna be hurt fighting this. But we do need... To build buildings, we will want to get some more food. I really feel like this is kind of a waste of time because it gets... you know what? Yeah, let's just auto-resolve this and hope we don't take a crazy amount of damage. Medium makes me a little bit concerned, but it just feels like it would be such an easy battle, damn it. And I'd really rather, you know, save that for a difficult battle. Ikit's army is too strong for just one stack. Alrighty, and that's gonna take about half our army, but we've expected that. Sack the place. Got a free artifact hunter for our trouble. And there we go. Now, does sacking do anything here? No, okay, good. So we still don't know these guys. Good. I'm so worried about that, and... we can't even take Kourun. Oh, you know we could try to do, though. Go to March Stance. And go... Okay, I want you to the edge of the map, so let's say here. There we go, that'll allow you to heal. And... okay, still haven't identified the elves. I gotta keep checking. Alrighty, I guess the Kourun's gonna go to the orcs then, unless they don't take it next turn, but it looks like they will. Well, I guess we could just jump over to Grungzint instead then, which is part of what we were planning to do anyway. Now, our food is greened up, which means we can spend some. Let's go. Money spending. Torgavon, yes, we are building all of these places to get more chieftain capacity everywhere. Coast of Araby, Al-Haik, our newly taken territory. Let's grow you fast as possible. And next up, Reichland. That's all. Okay, no, we also got to upgrade Grunberg as fast as possible. Got to get that food growing. We really need more food. 'Tis the Skaven life. And Warp Bomb for you, or Fortified Entries, the garrison building. And I guess Rattling Warrens as well. Once again, we're probably going to retrofit most of Bretonnia, if not all of Bretonnia, to have a lot of military buildings because of the relatively weak economical value of most of these territories, but we'll do that later. Economic, rather. Clan barracks for you, Southern Grey Mountains, although it doesn't really matter what happens there right now. Oh, wait, what? And it's going to rebel. Yeah, okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. The place has a garrison. Bell Foundry for you. And is that it? That looks like that's it. Do we want to change any of our plans? Probably not. Skavenblight still grows extremely slowly, and there's nothing we can do about it. Wait, we can increase the growth, actually, by putting a one of these guys there, can't we? You know what? Bell Farmer, move to Skavenblight. You are more valuable there. And Slicin is not a bell farmer, huh? Can we get any more Packmasters? No, we're out of points. Actually, are we out of points of everything? Not you, but we don't really need you right now. Okay, well, that, I believe, is everything that we need to do, unless I'm mistaken. That was real quick. Slicin doesn't need to move. Bok, I guess you can do something. How about let's move you out here to Gorcel? You're our assassin man. Slicin doesn't need to move. Ratmek does, however, need to move. He's going to the Monolith of Bjorkil Bloody Hand, if we can reach it. Bloody Hand did, close enough. And he'll take a few turns to get there and hopefully establish another city. It's been off cooldown for a couple turns now, so we really need to get one going. Also, where's that Doom Scheme? 1 turn until we can pop it again. Okay, fair enough. We just gotta remember to do that next turn, and I do believe with that, unless there's some diplomacy to do, we're good. So, diplomacy. Sylvania wants a non-aggression pact, I'll bet. But that's not going to happen. Bone Rattlers, Harbinger of Disaster. Yeah. I don't think we're going to do anything there. Ecstatic Legions, probably not. Warherd of the Shadow Gave, still not willing to go for that military axis, but hopefully soon. Molder is even less likely now to confederate, probably... Oh, it's got a second settlement. Yeah, it needs to lose all of its armies and maybe all but one of its settlements, maybe then we can do that. Also, Kourun unwilling to peace out even though they're basically dead. Well, more power to them, I suppose. Let's skip the rest of this, Imminent Rebellion included, don't care about that. Let's end the turn. And can we get attacked anywhere this turn? Is it possible? I don't think so. I suppose the only place where we might get attacked is here with Scheif. So let's end the turn here. And watch Al-Haik. Alright, Knights of Calador are way too far from us. I'm just looking at the factions that we're at war with as they go on by. Alright, no attacks from Reichland, nothing from the dwarfs so far. Sylvania's good. Ecstatic Legions, let me guess, you want some kind of non-aggression? We already have that. You want a defensive line, it's not gonna happen. At least not right now. No real purpose to it, especially since they're so weak. I guess that would increase our relationship with several other factions like Molder and with Throg, but meh, still kind of meh. Rebellion, Southern Grey Mountains, yes, we checked. Ooh, hello. A Repanse is here. With a full stack, plus the garrison, which is a full garrison, plus a lord. Oh man, that's tempting.
No.
This army wouldn't be able to do it, though. Not with its lords at their current level. Mission aborted for Clan Molder. Ambusher discovered. Constructor for Mutin, which is good. Grievous for Scheif. Right expires, as we were talking about. The Moot has been undercitied, which is good, because we can explode that. And actually, while we're here, let's do this. Scavenger Raiders, and let's do this. I mean, Actually, I care about the food more than about the money, so it's not even bother with the warp token stash. Just keep the scavenger raiders. Raiding camp, meh, not worth it. At least not in this particular settlement. And what the heck is this guy doing?
Not possible.
He should be dead.
Never.
And interesting that he... maybe he can't be replaced with Gelt. I suppose it doesn't matter all that much. Morphific, you're going out this way. You are no longer needed here. And I guess we are able to...
You. I will not rest.
Well, that's not good. I don't know what we did, but it looks like the elves have been identified. Okay, so they're coming for us sooner rather than later. This also means, since we've already discovered them, we don't care about not taking Kourun, so we can take that. And afterwards... Oh, where are you going? You've abandoned... That's not good. It's not a good idea, man. Let's just check out what's going on here. Maybe he's going to fight up here. I don't see anybody who's an enemy. Wrecker's Point is owned by Chaos. Oh, okay, I see. It's owned by... No, it's owned by Lorelor, and it's just corrupted. Okay, well then we don't care about either thing. You know what? Let us, I guess, fight Repanse. This, I think, will necessitate the use of a nuke. And there's just too many units here, too many knights, etc., etc. I don't see this army beating 2 full stacks, 2.5 stacks with its low-level stuff. I guess we can power it up a little bit with a few things. Do you need any ancillaries? No, I think we checked this last episode, too. Got a war banner, I guess. And let's see. You don't have poison attack, so we could give you a Blade of Corruption. Armor of Fortune probably would be better off. Well, actually, once you're in your Screaming Bell, it could be quite useful. But we probably do want to save that maybe for Warlock Engineer, maybe for Molder or somebody. Also, Obsidian Amulets. You have become the Fellblade. Enable magical attacks, weapon strength +7, armor piercing, weapon damage +20. Weapon strength when fighting vampire counts. That's really specific. I guess somebody will be using that when we fight the vampire counts. Okay, and I guess there's nothing really else that we can apply here. Everything else is fine. You know what? We do have a sword of... Where is it? Let's go here. So a warrior bane. Let's put that on you to debuff some enemies. You could have the pigeon plucker pendant. And you know what? Let's just get you the... Where is it? Featherfoe torque as well. I think somebody... Alright, just double check this here. Does Repanse have a flying mount? No, she has a regular mount. Okay, well then all that Featherfoe torque stuff was useless. Well, whatever. Not gonna change it anymore. We can give you guys anything useful. We have to prepare for this battle. Ruby Ring of Ruin? Sure. I guess. Not the most useful thing, but we'll take it for now. Blade of Corruption, Ogre Blade. Didn't we have a Scroll of Blast? Yes, we did. We did have a Scroll of Blast. In fact, let's put the Ruby Ring of Ruin and the Scroll of Blast on one lord, or one hero. Scroll of Blast for you. I guess we should put the Power Stone on these guys as well. This is going to be temporary, but we need, once again, to prepare. Let's do that. You cannot use arcane items, so we're not even going to bother to try. You can still use something. Is there anything that would debuff enemies? Doesn't look like it. Scrying Stone could give damage resistance, which could potentially be useful, but still kind of meh. Shield of Distraction is a melee attack reduction. You know what? Who has this? Mutant has it. Let's give this to you. You've got a bunch of debuffs, so... Let's have at least one debuff that functions around you that isn't... well, actually, both of these debuffs will work together. Yeah, alrighty. I think that's about as good as we can get. Let us now apply some points, so it's obviously going to be Tide of Death and Tide of Pox so that we can summon rats. More rats, I should say. Wolf rats, I should say. A Vermintide and obviously Plague Rash. And then with all of you guys casting Vermintide together, and that should be a significant amount of Plague Rash on everybody, which is Vigor loss reduction, so should be useful. Vermintide you already have. We could put 2 points, but it won't be enough to get the dreaded 13th or Plague, unfortunately. So I guess the best thing to spend the points on would probably be Engineering skill. And just to slightly increase the damage of our Plague Claw catapults. Alrighty, and I believe that's all we can do here. Yeah, I'm strongly thinking that we will need to spend the nuke, but if we do, we do. This is what it's made for. Also, just so I don't forget, let's pop the Scheme of Doom right now. Actually, this would have been a great time to actually have the 13th scheme, but oh well. We'll use it again once it comes available. I love how cheap the Skaven schemes are also. Perform right, yes. Scheme of Doom. That's another engineer on the field. This one appears at our capital, right? Yes? Wait. Or is it at our Lord's location? It's at our Lord's location. Oh, that's great. That is absolutely great. You're going up north. We could send you immediately to Conquata, or we could send you even further up north where nothing there will get conquered. Like, there's a dozen dark fortresses up here. Yeah. We want to spread an undercity to every single dark fortress we can find. Anyway, Ikit, you are not going to take that because we are going to spend money first. So, let us attack. Alright, this is going to be interesting by the looks of it. This is probably a stupid thing to do. Oh, unless... Okay, now I was about to say, unless the ambush succeeds, which it promptly didn't. Let's get a couple uses of the menace below. I'd prefer not to spend the food, but I guess we kind of have to. And yeah, this is a lot of units. And that's a lot of knights that Repanse has that are buffed up, and... Damn! Okay, her stats are just... Okay, we have nothing here that could possibly kill her. Okay, I guess that'll be a target for our Jezzails, but our Jezzails have like 50 targets here. Is this a terrible idea? Well, if this army gets half destroyed, we're fairly near to our recruitment hub, so we can rebuild stuff. I'm tempted to get another use of Menace below, but we're trying to save food right now, damn it. We can't go into yellow. Although I guess we'll recover some of the food, but, you know, it's still counter to what we want. Maybe 3, let's go 3. Alright, still in green by the looks of it. Well, let's get to this. I'm excited for the battle if nothing else, so let's see if we can pull it off. Alrighty, here we go. This should be quite interesting, though I am now sort of regretting not getting those Poison Wind upgrades from the workshop, as we may need them for all the massive piles of knights that Repanse will be bringing here. The issue, once again, is the fact that this army is not really particularly good at dealing with being horribly outnumbered, as usually that's the Skaven's purview, and thus, when their troops are generally, or at least their regular troops are generally weaker, being outnumbered, not so great. Anyway, we've set up to be right in the center of the map, roughly. It's a pretty good map that we got on the bright side because it doesn't have a lot of hills or anything crazy, so our units can fire immediately. Our Plague Claw catapults, or specifically 2 of our Plague Claw catapults, are going to work on the enemy men-at-arms, while the other 2 are immediately positioned to start firing on the enemy units as they arrive on the field, where our Jezzails are going to try to snipe the enemy damsel here so that she can't cast, ideally, as well as try to do as much damage as possible to those Knights of the Realm. Alrighty, here we go. Let's see how much damage we can do before the second army arrives on the field. Here come those Jezzails. Looks like the enemy is not going to react to this. Usually the AI likes to wait for their reinforcements to arrive, especially since we're the ones attacking. And it looks like the damsel is going to get out of here, but is going to survive and is broken, not shattered, and thus likely she'll be back. We'll have to work on sniping that next time. Now the Jezzails will continue working on those knights, and it does look like at least this one unit is dropping, and we really do need to make sure we kill as many knights here as possible, as there will be an issue to deal with. Especially for the Plague Monks, who aren't really designed to hold against knights. This is where our Vermintide comes in, but once again, our army isn't yet leveled enough to take on very numerous foes. Need to upgrade our our Plague Monks and our Packmaster. Alrighty, fortunately this one unit of knights is just about done and right on time as Repanse and her main army arrives on the field. Now we need to hopefully find a place to place the nuke and try to hit as many as possible. Unfortunately, it'll probably mean that we have to go for infantry, as it's unlikely that we'll get a good shot with killing a ton of knights here. Now the enemy's going to move onto the field, immediately going to start taking damage from our Plague Claws, though the knights are obviously not going to really get damaged by the Plague Claws, and on top of that, the knights are moving really spread out, which is great for them, but not so great for potential nuke placement. I do wish that we had had a spell available to us. If we could have used like Crack's Call or even a Scorch through this, it would have been really helpful. But oh well. And it looks like there's an enemy Flying Lord moving towards us. The knights are still not directly charging us and will continue to slightly take damage. The enemy also has brought a set of mortar war wagons here that might be dangerous to several of our units, so we'll need to be careful about that. Looks like the enemy ranged lord is moving in. We are going to target him with our Giselles as fast as possible, but also summon a unit of clan rats via Vermintide in order to hopefully bog him down and prevent him from killing any of our lords. Speaking of lords, Repanse is extraordinarily scary, and I just realized is also unbreakable. So we have to figure out a way to kill her, which I think is only Giselles. And damn, that's a lot of units. This is not ideal for this particular army. Let's hope that the Plague Claw catapults can do a lot of damage here. As we can see in the background, the enemy Flying Lord has been hit by a decent amount of Giselles, as well as the Poison Winds. And they're certainly doing damage to him, dropping him by about 33% HP. We're going to need a lot more. And here comes our first use of the Menace Below, and the purpose of this is to try to force the enemy to blob up for us to drop the nuke. And this looks like the biggest blob that we can possibly muster here, since the knights are staying away from each other. So here it comes. Ah, what a glorious effect, though. There we go. Lots and lots dead. That is a massive pile of peasants, primarily mobs, men-at-arms with shields, another men-at-arms unit, a battle pilgrims unit. Okay, that was a nice kit then. That was one of their better units in terms of infantry on the field. Luckily, they don't have foot squires, but, well, if they had foot squires, we would have targeted them. I love the irradiated, like, wasteland look of this. It would be lovely to have, like, 5 nukes drop on the field at once, just to see what the battlefield would look like after that. Anyway, after that, the balance of power is roughly even for now, but the enemy isn't even done bringing reinforcements in, even after the nuke has dropped, so we still have a lot of work to do. Fortunately, the first of the enemy lords here, Henri Le Massif, has been taken pretty much out by the Giselles and the Poison Winds, and is now just flying away. And we're going to keep sniping him at least until he fully routes. And now it's time to hold the ground. As we can see, 3 uses of the Menace Below coming up, or 3 uses of Vermintide rather, coming up at the same time, just to block all these knights and hopefully prevent them from reaching our main line. There we go, and we're also going to obviously be moving our Plague Monks in. The enemy Lord drops out of the sky, or at least one Lord drops out of the sky, and the Plague Monks are going to start working on the enemy cav in combination with our Vermintide. Pretty wide front line, and far wider than this particular army is really adept at dealing with, mostly because, once again, we don't have much of a melee line. Over on this side, a single unit of Plague Monks is holding back 3 units of Knights, and we're really banking on this unit not breaking immediately, though their melee defense is fairly low, as they are a frenzied damage dealer, and, well, a Skaven unit on top of that, so we can't really rely on this. Looks like it's going to be up to the Poison Winds here to dish out as much damage to those knights as possible, and same with the Warplug Giselles, who though now are focused on another lord. We really gotta snipe these lords. Repanse last, because she's just gonna be impossible to kill anyway. Our Wolf Rats are doing a good job keeping this lord busy, though. He can't really do anything. He's just completely stuck here while continuing to take snipe damage from our Giselles. Well done to you. Over on this side, a single unit of Plague Monks is holding back 3 units of various types of peasants, mob, battle pilgrims, and men-at-arms, or is it just two peasant mobs? No, yeah, it is battle pilgrims and men-at-arms. Alrighty, well, good job to the Plague Monks, but they really need those extra Vermintides to try to hold the ground, as they just aren't numerous enough. And we're still holding. Damn, it's close though. The battle balance is still roughly halfway. A little bit in our favor, though the enemy has only dropped by about half of their forces, and we've lost 500 of our own, though I'm not entirely sure how many of those were summoned and how many not. Repanse has unfortunately found our Packmaster and is now going after him, and after a couple blows, the Packmaster is nearly out of the picture. So we gotta get him the heck out of here unless we want to replace him. And unfortunately, the Vermintides are disappearing or dying. But we are going to summon another one, or actually a pack of wolf rats, to try to block Repanse while our Packmaster and now our Plague Monks just try to run away from her. There we go. Keep holding the ground, keep holding them back, and let's check our back lines. In fact, it looks like enemies are starting to approach our Poison Wind Globadier. Is going to try to counter that by sending a Plague Priest in to block the charge of the enemy. And ooh, looks like he swung his censer rather, and knocked one of the knights off his horse. But unfortunately, they're going to move past him and charge into our Plague Globes. Poison Winds. Really need to get them their upgrades now. As soon as we no longer need the food, we're going to prioritize a few upgrades, or a few more upgrades. Alrighty, Jezzails are going to continue to fire. These two units of Plague Monks are really getting a lot of value, as have been able to protect this flank the entire time. They're continuing to allow the Jezzails to fire at the enemy knights and knock them off, sniping knights, but occasionally hitting peasants and stuff like that. Good job, Jezzails. Once again, I'm really glad I brought them in this particular army. Now, let's see, balance of power is moving further into our favor. We are down to 1,000 troops, with the enemies down to 1,500. Repanse is still completely alive and has badly damaged a couple of our heroes and nearly killed our Packmaster, but we have managed to keep them alive so far. In addition to that, our Plague Claws are still firing, but are now starting to take a little bit of damage from the enemy mortar, who has decided to focus them as well. Though they have been doing a great job taking out these archers, as the archers stop moving, obviously, once they find a target. We've also summoned a unit of Menace below, clan rats on top of these Poxbows, and our other unit of wolf rats is in the one that wasn't keeping the Lord busy, is chasing some knights around, trying to make sure that they don't come back. Alrighty, looks like most of the enemy army is in fact either wavering now or routing. They're in pretty bad shape. And it looks like the Vermintide will once again manage to hold. At the very least, against the main force, there we go. They have now chain routed, and only Repanse remains on the field. Although I probably shouldn't say only Repanse, because that's still quite a lot to deal with. Alrighty, well, we'll try to do as much damage as possible to the units that are running away, such as we can, especially with our wolf rats and some of our ranged units. But once again, we need to make sure that the Jezzails keep all their remaining ammunition and use it on Repanse. Fortunately, their ammunition is pretty good here, and they've been firing for pretty much the entire battle, killing knights primarily, and now they're going to go for Repanse. And we still do have a few uses of Vermintide remaining, a little bit of winds left, so we're going to keep summoning them until the Jezzails can kill her. And there we go. Okay, we don't need to be firing the Plague Claw catapults into our own units, though. And she's still fighting, and just out of curiosity, she's got 96 kills, nearly 12,000 damage, and has been taking sniping damage this entire time. Pretty scary lord, I gotta say, and especially since she's a large model because of the horse, she's a lot easier to hit than a smaller unit would be. So this is definitely working against her in this particular army. Man, if we were facing off against Vlad or somebody, this might actually be impossible, but no, Vlad is too slow. He wouldn't be able to catch up. But a fast-moving, I suppose, lord that wouldn't be able to get shot by the Jezzails would be very much a problem. Alright, fortunately, it looks like Repanse is pretty much done. A few more hits with those Plague Globes. Ah, she's actually going to move away, and just as they let fly, the Jezzails are also going to miss a volley. Come on. A fireball coming in from one of our heroes. And there's more Poison Winds. And more Clan Rats moving in. And are we good? I have no idea what's happening in there. Alright, there we go. That should have been the final volley, I think. I can't see anything because of the poison ones, but I think she went down. Yes, indeed. Alrighty. Ooh. Yeah, that definitely took quite a lot of effort. And just once again checking the ammunition on the Jezzails there, they now nearly ran out of what they had left. Well done, everybody. The wolf rats continue to chase those units that we can, though I do believe Repanse's army was in march stance. There was still a garrison force that needed to be destroyed. Actually, a little bit regret not using the rest of our plague monks to chase down more of the enemy troops. I was thinking that they might actually be needed to surround Repanse in the hopes of killing her, but also they were pretty badly damaged, so that would probably not have gone well. Still, good job to all the plague monks for holding, and really, once again, good job to the Vermintide, and frankly, what a glorious battle. Alrighty, damn, that was a pretty epic battle, and once again, Repanse is such a beast, just impossible to bring down. I am so glad that we put these 2 units of Warplock Jezzails in this particular army, because without them, there would have just been no way, especially considering she was unbreakable. She would have killed our entire army, I think, if it wasn't for the Jezzails, because, yeah, there was no way these 4 at their current level were gonna bring her down. Still, glorious, absolutely glorious, and I was about to say that I kind of regret using the nuke, because other than Repanse, the battle went fairly well for us. I think the fact that Repanse's army was in march stance really did a number on them, and made the nuke kind of unnecessary. However, I would only have said that if we didn't recover the nuke, which we lucked out into getting back, so we still have our emergency nuke, Unless it's going to go to 0 right after the battle is over, and I got excited for nothing. Damn it. Okay, let's find out. But if we have the resources needed to rebuild it if that's the case. Let us heal up here, because the rewards are kind of meh either way. And nuke is... Moment of truth. Moment of nuke. It does go down to 0. But defeated Repanse does give us plus 5% research rate, which is actually pretty good. And yeah, I guess I'll have to rebuild the nuke. Damn. You got me, game. You got me. Let's see, another Man-Thing slave. We have plenty of those already. And Scheif, are you still able to move? Yes, indeed you are. Oh, that's neat. And that is very neat. I wonder if this guy could take Kofor. I'd really love to take Martek and... Wait, this is the remnants of Repanse's army. Why is that alive? Why are you alive? You were in march stance. You should have been destroyed. Huh. I'm not sure I've seen that ever happen before. Okay, that's interesting. Is it because they were in march stance but they were in a settlement that they don't get destroyed? Well, either way, this does necessitate a fight, but not in Martek, because we don't want to fight in the unwalled settlement. Although, considering they have no siege engines, we'd probably just be able to kill them all slowly over time with Plague Claw catapults. That said, we could also just go here and attack Hector and draw them all out. However, would doing so still allow us enough movement points to hit the enemy settlement afterwards? That's another question. Do you take me for a I don't know. I really don't know, but we will decide in a bit, because now we have some money to spend, and we are going to spend it because I'm going to forget otherwise. Let's go for Nest Nursery, Fyrus, let's upgrade you immediately. I guess let's upgrade everything while we're here. Gotta spread out the battles in the admin after all. Middenland, you're not collecting... income? Oh yeah, it's because you're only Karoberg. That makes sense, we don't need to. Charge Lock. I was gonna send you up here. But, I mean, if this is gonna be a free territory, we may want to take it. Also, Mutant, you can lose another 6 units. And replace them with other units. But, yeah, Charge Lock. Fine, take it.
No.
And the places will probably always be corrupted, but I guess we can make it a more of a military hub than anything else. Go here, and I guess we can't sack it because we won't have the movement range left over after this. But at least we won't have an enemy on our borders, so that is good enough for me. And... okay, well that doesn't matter. We're gonna auto-resolve this. A tiny bit of damage, but that's fine. And more food, more importantly. We're gonna take it to tier 1 because we really don't particularly care about this territory. At least not right now. And we're gonna replace you with growth shortly. Okie dokie. We also need to Skavenly corrupt the place, although we're getting out-corrupted by Nurgle. Though on the bright side, if we continue being out-corrupted by Nurgle here, the place will just generate food because we have low Skaven corruption. Which is actually a good thing for us. Huh. You know, maybe that is a good thing. Let's try not to over-corrupt the place. Okay, so that's you guys. Ikit. You will probably want to take Kourun now, since we've already found the elves, but if so, we want to spend our money everywhere else first, so let's go money. Black Mountains, Migdal von Galbarak, you need growth. I had... Huh. I feel like I was supposed to do that last turn, but I forgot. Alright, Castle Carcassonne, we gotta upgrade you immediately. Let's go for growth here as well, to tier 4, at which point we'll get the Taskmaster's platform and the other growth thing. You need to switch to expansionist planning. Although if we go back down to yellow over the next turn, then there will have been no difference. You know what, go for expansionist planning for now, and we'll see. So we're currently at 66%, and I wish it showed the numbers rather than the percentages. It would be really helpful. 66, we'll see. Let's skip Sartosa, but we'll do everything else for now. Grunberg, definitely you, not Aelhart. Speaking of Aelhart, we don't need this or this. We need those to be all replaced by growth buildings. And Solend, you're up next. Growth. And growth. And Steingart, you can go... Oh, this place is also another 2 settlement place. Which is also then not going to generate a crazy amount of money, which could also then be another military hub-like territory. Let's go for the rubbish pit for now, but we might replace it later on. In fact, maybe we just replace... Nah, I mean, it's not a Bretonnian territory. And again, it's not generating a lot of money yet, but that could change for the better. But nonetheless, we do probably want more pack masters and other stuff. Yeah, let's get to the Packmaster building in here as well. It's not like it generates 0 money, it's just like half the money that the other thing would generate. And we're going to want to build these things all over the place anyway, so yeah, let's do that. Especially while they're cheap. And Montfort, we're probably going to do the same thing here, but you can keep doing what you're doing for now. Southern Grey Mountains, yes, more clan barracks. Forest of Chalon, you are good. I believe, for another 6 turns. Yeah, River Brienne. Bordelot will always have to generate money because it's a cash cow, so we'll leave it as it is. And we still have a decent amount of cash left over. Ooh, also, how close are we to be done with you guys? Okay, so Cyprus is good. Alright, Cyprus, I want you to transfer stuff here. Like so. Alright, then I want you to move out to Sartosa, because you're going to recruit some other stuff. You are going to have... Wait, okay, let's check out whether we got any new things. The Packmasters we don't really care about right now, and while I do care about the Warlock Engineers, we can't get them. And there's a tough Sorcerer or a tough Plague Priest. I prefer you. What else do we have here? You, Mr. Stab, are confident, which is okay... but also not great. I prefer the tough one, because we put them on a Plague Furnace, and then they'll be tankier. Yeah, and we only can, I think, use 1 in this particular army, so let's go with you. Go with the tough guy. Slicin', you can stay here. You're going to be a bell farmer for a while, at least. Although, I suppose we could put you in this army if we really wanted to. Now, we have 18 out of 20, which means we get to the Council Guard. Not now, but when we move out. And then we get the Plague Priest in, and then that's the army. Is that enough? 9 Storm Vermin is quite a lot. And between the Giants and that, I think it'll be pretty good. I'm almost tempted to not have the Warp Lightning Cannons in here and just allow the Jezzails to act as our long range, and replace the Warp Lightning Cannons with mortars. I'm not sure. I'm not sure because we want another army that'll have a ton of mortars. Actually, speaking of mortars, we should also probably spend some of that warp fuel on upgrading them. Anyway, I'm back to this. You know what? There's probably a lot of more admin to do, but what we should probably take care of right now is this. And the decision, I think, is going to be to attack Hector here.
I am a lord of
I mean, yeah, we can siege this over time. Do we really want to take the time to do it, though? Enemy's not... It doesn't have that good HP, and it's not a walled settlement. And I think this army... Well, actually, this army probably wouldn't be destroyed. It would just be very badly damaged. But then again, there's basically nothing in that army, so who cares? You know what? Maybe it's safer to do it this way. And then we will have to move into the settlement. I think we'll be fine. And the enemy lord here is dead, and... Yeah, okay, fine. Let's do this quick. We'll do this manually. And, oh, we can actually auto-resolve it. Okay, we'll just auto-resolve it then. There's no need. I was gonna just slowly bombard the place with plague claw catapults, but if the game considers that a waste of time, then that is probably not going to be a very and difficult battle. Now, we probably want to save some points here for both of these, especially Envoy of the Council. So we'll save one of the points that we have right now. Let's get 1 point in engineering skill, and then we'll save the rest. You two. And I'm just spending these points before the auto-resolve because it increases their power and thus increases the likelihood of them losing less HP and stuff. Now we do want to get Pestilent Birth as fast as possible, although it's quite expensive. We'll get Warpstone tokens after we get Earthing, just so that they don't screw each other over. Let's go for Pestilent Breath for now. We should probably get Scouting, but we'll do that later. Yeah, let's get Pestilent Breath for you, and I do like Bless with Filth. So let's have one of you max out Bless with Filth, and then we'll have the other one max out Wither. Like so. And Pestilent Breath as well. And then Mr. Packmaster will need to save points at rank 8, so next level. Let's get 1 more point in Scavenge so that you get more money. And let's get you Hard to Hit so that you are less likely to die. Hard to Hit. Wait, do we need to save points here? Rank 10. I mean, we do, but not now. Hard to Hit for you. And I believe that's it. Alrighty, now, auto-resolve this real quick. Nobody dies, just triple checking. Yes. And another 11 food, and... It would be nice to sack it, but I think we loot and occupy it. And we'll take it at level 1 again. I mean, I'd love to take it at level 3, but the thing... Well, then again, we probably will have to defend this, because this army can't be everywhere at once. But we don't have the food. We want to take Kourun. Yeah, you know what? No, just take it at tier 1. If we lose it, we'll just take it back. I think that's the better option. And then we'll get the growth here, we'll uncollect the income, and then we'll wait. The thing is, we either have to go down this way and go down, or go down this way, and whichever way we don't go down will be the way that the enemy generates a new army. Also, how many territories do these guys have? And just the 4. Oh. Okay, so that basically broke the faction. Yeah, it was probably still worth the use of the nuke, because the faction is now broken, it'll be a lot easier to deal with them before switching to another enemy. And since we've saved up enough food, we may be able to get Kourun at tier 3 without spending the money. And not losing out on this upgrade. Let's find out. Ikit, away you go. Might as well occupy it since we can see the elves. And you can auto-resolve this, yes, 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 I think so. Still a little bit of damage, but we should heal up. And we will occupy it at tier 3. Unoccupy. Alrighty, I just hope that this didn't force us to identify more elves. Now, still can't see Eataine, we can only see Ivress, which will probably eventually declare war on us, but we'll deal with it. Alrighty, Kourun, let's immediately upgrade you, and damn, we did go back down to yellow, but just barely. We're at 59%, so 1 battle will take care of this for us. Let's immediately get growth, let's immediately get pottery or clay, and we're good. Alrighty, this means we head down to Grung Zint next turn. We can't quite reach it in 1 round. Although I do have to wonder if we leave the settlement. No, we still probably won't be able to. Hopefully Grom doesn't beat us there, as that would be annoying. He's not at war with Marienburg, and yeah, okay, the rest is fine. Anyway, unfortunately with that we're pretty much out of time, and I am going to have to call the episode here. Next time we continue recruiting with Mutin, and we'll hopefully be ready with his assassin army by then. In fact, Metastorm, while you're here. join that army. Oh, also to recruit the rest, you'll need to get rid of another unit. There you go. Yeah, well, hopefully our assassin army will be complete, because we're gonna need them to attack the vamps. We'll probably need at least 3 armies, because it's a pretty darn wide front, and we can't do it with only a couple armies. In that light, we'll also have to get more units for Morphific, which is where Cyprus rather is going, to get some mortars and poison wind globe or death globes, possibly. We'll think about what exactly to do with that army. And then we will continue the fight against Repanse, although we'll see what army she can rebuild by the time we take more territories. And of course, hopefully, by next episode, this army will be ready to go and start on the work with the giants, which should be pretty fun. Excited for all that, as well as get new different types of armies on the field. Stay tuned for more rats. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.